Caitlin Clark steps into Dallas. And no, this isn't the setup to a joke. It's the opening chapter of something massive in women's basketball. Her fans didn't just show up, they flooded the city. Dave Portnoy noticed, the sports world reacted, and suddenly everyone's asking the same question: what happens next? But before we get there, quick favor, if you're enjoying this content, hit the like button and subscribe. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It's free for you, but it means everything to us. Did you subscribe? Perfect. Let's get back to it. What we saw in Dallas was only the beginning. What followed wasn't just crowd energy, it was a full-scale movement. Caitlin Clark's supporters stunned everyone, including seasoned professionals. Think you understand fan loyalty? Think again. This was about far more than a single basketball game. When Clark's fans traveled to Dallas, they came to make history. Team executives, league insiders, and veteran reporters were all caught off guard by the electricity in the air. The streets were alive. This wasn't an ordinary crowd. It felt like the start of a basketball revolution. And these fans weren't just sitting in the stands. They were active, visible, and loud. Videos of Clark supporters marching through the city in her jerseys, holding signs, and celebrating together exploded across social media. The buzz was impossible to miss, both online and in real life. The Indiana Fever social media team didn't see this as routine fan support. They recognized it for what it was: a movement. These weren't just spectators cheering. They were making a statement about the future of women's basketball. Even people with no connection to the Fever took notice. The reaction spread to the opposing team as well. One Dallas Wings player admitted it was tough seeing so many fans backing the visiting side. But even she had to acknowledge something bigger. Women's basketball grows when fans show up like this. Passion fuels progress. And that's where the bigger picture comes into focus. These supporters are reshaping the narrative around women's sports. They're no longer passive viewers. They're demanding attention for the game they love. This goes beyond one player or one matchup. It's a call to rethink how we support women's basketball as a whole. What these fans are proving is simple but powerful. There is a massive, vocal audience ready to invest in women's sports. And that kind of energy changes everything: ticket sales, media coverage, sponsorship deals, and even how young girls see their own athletic futures. Numbers matter, but passion matters more. The intensity, commitment, and joy these fans bring is contagious. Their excitement spreads everywhere they go. And just as this fan-fueled moment began to settle, another storm rolled in. Dave Portnoy dropped statistics that could flip the WNBA Rookie of the Year conversation on its head. Behind the scenes, the media spotlight shifts, because when Portnoy speaks, the sports world listens.
It says both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark deserve to win Rookie of the Year. My jaw hit the floor. They're both MVP. They're not both Rookie of the Years. They're not, and it's okay.
His remarks are spreading fast after he completely disrupted the WNBA narrative, especially the way the media has framed Angel Reese and the Rookie of the Year race. Portnoy isn't pulling any punches. So what exactly has people fired up? According to him, the answer is simple: the numbers. Portnoy argues that the recent performances of Reese and Caitlin Clark couldn't be more different. He points to Reese's last 4 games as evidence of a sharp decline, and 0-4 record, just 11 points per game, 26% shooting, and what he describes as an overall underwhelming stretch. Then he contrasts that with Clark's production. Her team went 4-0. She averaged 24 points and shot an efficient 48% from the field. To Portnoy, the gap isn't debatable. But he insists this isn't just about box scores. What really concerns him is what he sees as a deeper problem within sports media. Portnoy claims the coverage of players like Clark and Reese is being shaped by a broader ideological bias. In his view, even when Reese's on-court performance doesn't justify Rookie of the Year consideration, the media continues to push her into the conversation. So, why does this matter? Portnoy says fair and honest reporting is only part of the issue. His bigger concern is the personal toll this kind of coverage can take on the athletes themselves. He even goes as far as to say he worries about how this narrative could impact Reese's mental health.
There's a lot of people who continually are talking about Rookie of the Year. Is it Angel Reese or is it Caitlin Clark? Who's the better player? Because I'm starting to worry about Angel Reese and her mental health.
Argues that the media is putting unnecessary pressure on her by repeatedly including her in a race she realistically has no chance of winning. To him, this issue goes far beyond one player or a single award. At its core, it's about how media narratives shape the way we view athletes and their accomplishments. Portnoy's argument raises some uncomfortable but important questions. When we read coverage about these players, are we actually getting the full picture? Or is the story being framed to fit a particular agenda? Do we ever truly see the complete context when an athlete's struggles are highlighted? And when statistics are compared, are they really being measured on equal ground? According to Portnoy, the answer may very well be no. But here's where things take an interesting turn. While the media may appear to be praising Reese, Portnoy believes they're actually doing her a disservice. In his view, the coverage isn't helping her at all. It's unfair, misleading, and ultimately harmful.
So why are we talking about Angel Reese, who is a rebounder? She has one thing well, and she does it great. How would you like to be Angel Reese? And every time they mention your name, they're mentioning, well, maybe Rookie of the Year, she is as good as Caitlin.
He went on to argue that keeping Reese in a conversation where she's no longer truly competitive could end up doing her harm. This situation challenges the way we think about sports coverage as a whole. It's no longer just about wins, losses, or scoring totals. It's about the stories built around those achievements and how they're presented to the public. That naturally raises a bigger question. How does this affect the fans? Maybe it's time we stop consuming headlines at face value and start looking deeper. When reports highlight a player's breakout year, or a disappointing one, are we really getting the full story? Or are we only being shown the pieces that support a specific narrative? In the sports world, Portnoy's comments have sparked a major controversy. His stance has sharply divided opinion, with some backing his viewpoint and others strongly pushing back against it. But one thing is clear, this debate isn't going away anytime soon.
Great team win. 17-16, winning record, first time since 2016. Woo!
This debate is far from settled, no matter where you stand. Balanced reporting sounds ideal, but what happens when the accuracy of the story itself becomes questionable? Too often, we overlook the game within the game unfolding right in front of us. So, who really holds the power in women's basketball? What happens on the court is no longer the only thing that matters. In today's world of news cycles, social media, and non-stop television coverage, an entirely different contest is being played. And it revolves around how media narratives shape our perception of athletes like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Think about it. Have you ever stopped to consider where a performance report comes from and how it's presented? Because the way a story is told can be just as important as the facts themselves. Now, let's break it down. Caitlin Clark is soaring, backed by elite performances and a massive, passionate fan base. Meanwhile, Angel Reese continues to be mentioned in Rookie of the Year conversations despite recent struggles. On the surface, you might assume this is purely about on-court results, but there's more at play. Media portrayal matters. Which stories get told, whose perspective is highlighted, and which details are emphasized are all deliberate choices. Those decisions heavily influence how fans view these athletes. One common tactic is spotlighting Reese's past accomplishments while minimizing her current challenges. At the same time, Clark's fan following is often highlighted more than her actual gameplay. In both cases, the real action on the court risks getting buried beneath the narrative. So, why does this matter? Because it can directly affect the players themselves. Imagine being in Reese's shoes, constantly mentioned in award races you're no longer close to winning. That kind of pressure has to take a toll. On the flip side, Clark now faces sky-high expectations fueled by non-stop hype, expectations that may be nearly impossible to live up to. And that's the uncomfortable reality behind the headlines. This issue goes far beyond the players themselves. The stories being told also shape how invested fans become. A single misleading narrative can influence how someone views the game, their favorite team, or even whether they tune in at all. That raises a serious question. What's the real goal here? Is it about who can tell the most dramatic story? Or is it still about performance? Right now, it often feels like media voices carry more influence than coaches. And to be clear, media coverage does play a vital role in growing women's basketball. Visibility matters. Highlighting great athletes elevates the sport and inspires the next generation. The problem begins when storytelling starts to outweigh actual performance. This debate forces us to rethink how sports are being covered. It's no longer just about wins and points. It's about how those achievements are framed and which narratives are pushed. So what can we do? We can start by consuming sports news more critically. When we read about a player having a breakout season or a rough one, we should dig deeper. Are we getting the full picture or just the parts that fit a preferred storyline? Ultimately, the focus should return to the game itself. Watch the matches. Study the statistics. Form your own opinions instead of accepting someone else's version of events. Don't take anyone's word as absolute truth when it comes to a player or a performance. Maybe it's a radical idea, but perhaps it's time fans demand more from sports media. We deserve fair, balanced reporting that follows the action on the court, not headlines designed purely to chase clicks.